What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us to Commission Talks live. How is everybody doing? I am joined with the Commission Boys, Mr. 1130 Podcast, Dre on Wheels, and my boy, Shiz, the Blackheart Lansky from Off the Top Roast Podcast. How are y'all doing, boys?
What's going on? What's going on, man? It is Wednesday, so it's Commission Talk. I'm excited. What's going on?
Hey, man, episode 19. We have made it to episode 19. Guys, this is crazy. Like, literally, we thought of this idea. And, man, one thing I want to gloat about our podcast for one is, man, we just got on a podcast called The Mini Hats with Mr. Infamous and stuff like that. Man, what an experience that was. That was the first time we came on as a trio on someone else's podcast. I mean, that speaks a lot of volumes for us. Like, we're now considered as the Commission Boys. Like, literally, that we have our own podcast, we have our own brands, but we are considered a group as the Commission Boys. That's definitely got to say a lot of words for that one.
Yeah, definitely.
How do y'all feel about that?
Hey, man, it was an honor, man, and it was a privilege. So shout out to my guy RG and all the guys over there at the Infamous Mini Hats, man. Go check it out. Like Warren said, we had the privilege. Myself, Blackheart, Warren was on their platform this past week. Shout out to Kofi Weaston, who took over the episode. That was dope as hell. Man, everything about the episode was dope. So definitely shout out to them guys. It was definitely dope, man. So what you just saying, man, it shows what we doing each and every week, just telling how we feel, whether it's, wrestling or whatever the case may be at the end of the show with final thoughts, man. So we doing something. We doing something big here.
Hey, man, it's crazy. Shiz, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. I'm just going a little back and forth. So if you kind of see me going in and out of it, it's just I overlap myself with so much shit. I don't know if you can barely even see me because the bright shining, light of my, I'm saying no curtain. Really,
I was gonna start calling you Shazam, man.
Yeah, I got a backup plan. This is just in case. I got a backup plan. And I just think about this. Now you actually see me a little bit clearer, right? All right. So I'm back and forth with it and shit. I got Mike Hollow who has his own training center, who trained Darren Young, Kofi Kingston and such, coming up next on After Dark at 6:30. I totally forgot about the guy. Sorry, Mike. Just dealing with that, and then we got Tyree Taylor coming on the show tomorrow at 8:30, and then we got Pure Ignorance, my boy Chaz the Don, and Prince Machiavelli coming on the show tomorrow at 7:30 tomorrow. So,
hey, man, talk about the wrestle narrative. Talk about that segment that you just finally got to debut. Like, you've been talking about doing that trivia show for a long time. Like, how was it? How were the feedback on it, man? Tell us a little bit about
it. Pretty much it was good feedback, but it was just a prototype run. It was just to see if I can make the questions seem like, okay, they're not easy questions too much, but you might have to really think about it and try to get the gist of it. So we're still twiddling along with it, but we got some really dope reviews right now when it comes to that. Still got to tweak up a little bit more, but since my whole fucking studio was in back of me, we got 70 fucking cards, 70 multiple questions.
There it is.
And I'm gonna do the final round questions. Kind of like the speed timer. I'm gonna kind of like the speed timer questions and shit. 1 word answers. So we already got the video done. I did that shit myself last night. Now it's just probably gonna have you two be the guinea pigs to test this game show out. And I'll do that when it comes to my turn when it comes to the commission's talks.
Hey, I would definitely be honored to do that. Shout out to the old school outlaw, Duke Randall. Welcome to the Commission Talks podcast, man. We hope you enjoy.
What's up?
All right, guys. Usually every week we cover on about just the main topics of wrestling and stuff like that. Guys, obviously the big trending thing about wrestling right now is we just had the passing of Monday. And the craziest thing is I was at Monday Night Raw, and we literally did not find out about the passing of Scott Hall until the show literally started. And literally, that was definitely something, man, it was definitely something sad to hear about, knowing that this man went through 3 heart attacks just this weekend. Uh, I saw the post where it was saying about Kevin Nash saying that they were just about to put him off the life support, basically. And man, it was rough. But the man stayed strong for 4 straight hours. And regardless of some of the posts that other people were putting, and everybody was doing nonstop nonsense in ways, man, for it to happen the way it did, it's still major prayers to all of Scott Hall's friends, family, and even well, all the workers that really have. Honestly, Scott Hall has got a major part into what I used to do, the pro wrestling. At any moment in wrestling, you can never not say Scott Hall never belonged. Scott Hall is 1/3 of the main factors of why wrestling in the Attitude Era was monumental, because that's what got the Monday Night Wars, and that's what spiked up ratings from both wrestling companies as a whole. And if you don't remember him as Razor Ramon, do your research, because that man was something to see. Promo wise, look, everything. Just an awesome performer. Guys, our first segment is going to basically just talk about some good. What were some of your favorite matches with Scott Hall or moments?
I guess I start first though. I'm gonna say favorite moment though. Scott Hall, man, was a character to be seen in WWE, WWF, however you want to look at it. But one of my favorite moments, though, I understand he didn't win the match, though, but at WrestleMania 18, where I believe he was taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he got
Mm-hmm.
stunnered. He got stunnered. He got stunnered
Oh,
twice.
the self,
And
the
how
self.
he sold that stunner, I thought that was one of the funniest things that he ever did. But obviously, favorite matches. The match he did with the 1-2-3 kid that
I was
obviously
just about to
put
say that one.
they obviously put Sean Waltman over the top. The WrestleMania 10 match with him and Shawn Michaels, and the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. And man, when Scott Hall, see, I wasn't a WCW guy, so I heard about the Outsiders and the NWO. I mean, yeah, the NWO and everything, but I was a WWE guy, and we were just talking before the podcast. I was the Rock guy, so when in 2002, excuse me, and when 2002 and Vince brought in the NWO, and the NWO was beefing with The Rock and stuff, and they crushed The Rock in the ambulance.
Oh, with
I
the
was sitting there
ambulance, yeah.
crying. Yeah, I was like 11 years
Yeah.
old, crying. But what
You and
they,
me both, bro. You and me
I
both.
was crying. I was like, why y'all do that? Why y'all do that? But just everything Scott Hall did, man, with the toothpick and just everything. Oh, is that me?
Yeah. I,
Yeah, with the toothpick and everything,
that's
man, it
one
was
thing
dope.
that trademarked him, bro, was that toothpick. Like, man, I didn't see a lot of people be able to rock a toothpick and look so damn cool, because honestly, that toothpick was golden when Scott Hall, like that's literally one thing anybody could say for like a tribute. You just have a toothpick in your mouth, and that could really just contribute to what that character of Scott Hall was, because man, he idolized himself, man. And honestly, and like I say, when we talk about Razor Ramon and guys like that, but I would love to talk about Scott Hall just coming on indie shows, man. He was so open to talk about stories, talk about moments on the road, talk about ways to improve matches, what matches are missing, what's the purpose of pinfalls, what's the purpose of DDTs and stuff. And I know if some independent wrestlers come on this chat tonight and see this, then they would even talk about some of their memories with him, because I have heard nothing but great stories about Scott Hall when it comes to like an independent scenario. Because yes, he did have a bad background from stuff, obviously, but wrestler, any rock star life, who hasn't? I mean, be real. Who has it? Like, if you haven't, you should get a golden plate, because that's just very rare to even happen. But Shiz, do you have any favorite memories or matches of Scott Hall?
Um, there's definitely a few. First of all, rest in peace, Scott Hall, rest of Ramon.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I think the favorite moments for me personally were were definitely him versus Bret Hart for the Royal Rumble 93 and King of the Ring 94, I think it was, which was beautiful, spectacular. And you go in the ring with Bret. You know, Bret makes anyone look like $1,000,000, but Razor looked like he should have been world heavyweight champion by that time period. That's the one significant difference that I saw in that. Definitely the ladder match, the classic WrestleMania 10 ladder match that everyone's been not talking about but sleeping on for crying out fucking loud.
That's the reason why ladder matches even have a purpose, is because of that.
Yeah, that he got, and then that made the ladder match more famous because of these two, Shawn Michaels and Eddie Guerrero. And by the way, two best friends in the mid card of a pay-per-view, of a WrestleMania pay-per-view. You are inaugurating a ladder match. You're going one-on-one with your best friend, so you know your creativity is off the fucking charts. And that's what we've seen. We've seen some pretty remarkable stuff, even though that wasn't really projected in 1994, but we get a lot of it now. But that was the blueprint of how ladder matches, singles ladder matches, are supposed to go. And this is what we respect from both Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. Definitely his stint with 1-2-3 Kid, his little beef with IRS. I can remember 19.
Oh gosh, I love how you mentioned that, because that was one I loved, was IRS.
And me, because I had that on videotape.
Okay.
So I was a real like you have to watch the pay-per-view and record them so you can watch some shit later just in case you miss something. And you will go back and you will rewatch and stuff like that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Of course, the two-pick, the fact that he took a character from Scarface. He took Tony Montana and he put it in a wrestling form and it got the fuck over. It's what makes it more astonishing to me and how creative he was. And being able to take that character and go skyrocket with it. Even when he was a heel, he got cheered. And that's what trajected him to becoming a baby face. Now, the one thing I really wished is he did get a little mini title run in WWF, at least before he left in 96, just to try to give a little teaser of what the hell that he could have done, but we didn't get it. But, he's still our champion. But this one more match I want to say, just one more that brings vivid memory. Goldberg versus Kevin Nash for the title. And then you get the man out of nowhere with a taser, tases Goldberg, one of the controversial finishes of all time in WCW history, and he was part of that. He was part of a lot of legendary moments in a lot of our childhoods. So, rest in peace.
Even the finger poke of doom.
I didn't feel right when he passed away. I was just like you guys. I was skeptical earlier that morning when I first heard the news, and I was just like, "Yo, keep your fingers crossed, man," because people go into situations like this all the time. Let's give the man some fucking faith. Don't write the man off like that until 8:05 or 8:13 around my time period was when the news broke out that he was officially gone. That's when I was like, okay, now I can confirm the story, and now we gonna grieve the way that we grieve. I grieve in a different way from other people. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to sit there, let the childhood memories come into full fruition, and you sit back and you be like, yo, now my childhood people are gone or they're starting to disappear. Who else is left? Give people their roses while they're here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I agree with you on that 100%. And Shiz, I'm sorry I couldn't watch the Remembrance show that you did with Scott Hall, because knowing I was at Monday Night Raw, there was no way I could even tune into that. But you did a great job on that, man. I could definitely tell that came from your heart. And some of the stuff, even to see E Dukes be real serious on an episode, to really, in ways you could just tell this kind of affected all y'all in a way.
It affected a few of us in the group, but it affected a lot of us as wrestling fans.
As fans, yeah.
As fans. And then I remember talking to John Teller, and him and Lou Bruno, they look up to Scott. That was the person that they went and conversated and talked to about their matches and stuff. So to hear from them and how upset that they were, that hurt me. So it wasn't just the fans that was hurting. It was the indies, the people who watched him, grew up and wanted to be just like him. They were hurting. So I reached out to them like, yo, listen, you guys want to talk? We here.
That's why the nickname Papa Scott was meant very well in independent wrestling because a he was more like a mentor to anybody that he saw in the indies and stuff. Like obviously they had a select few that he just said, "Hey, you need to work on your gimmick and get your shit together, get your stuff over." But there was a lot that he literally would do to help somebody. And that's one thing that people in ways I think a lot of legends now are seeing that perspective now because they know their time in the ring is slowly going away. And now they want this thing to keep going. We got AEW, we got WWE, we got New Japan Pro Wrestling, we got New England Pro Wrestling, we got all these promotions. This is showing that wrestling is still going to go. Knowing that, yes, our heroes are now slowly leaving. Like, we can't really depend on these guys anymore to entertain TVs. Like, yes, we might get an occasional segment, which we're about to find one at WrestleMania. Shout out to Stone Cold on big 316 day that he's going to be having a segment with Kevin Owens, and I'm going to definitely look forward to it just because, hey, hearing that entrance song and just that attitude, that character back, it's like unlike nothing else, like you've seen before. And that's one reason why Stone Cold stands out so much. But with Scott Hall, man, it just shows like, you know what, man, hard work does pay off because Scott busted his tail to become a pro wrestler. And honestly, I think he was one of the first guys to actually embrace the hairy chest look because
but also
in wrestling, clean shave, head to toe. Reason why I have chest hair growing a lot higher now is because you always had to have that smooth, clean chest, everything. Like I think Scott Hall being one of the first ones to actually really be able to embrace the hairy chest look because I mean, a lot of in wrestling, you're supposed to have them shaved from head to toe, arms, legs, you know where, whatever else you got to do. You're supposed to be looking like that superhero look, that mean look, and it didn't make Scott Hall look bad at all. I mean the mullet, I mean the whole get up that Scott Hall had, man, it's just really was a trailblazing thing. And honestly, I can name one wrestler that literally imitated some of his move sets and stuff like that. People might disagree with me, but The Rock and some of his matches and stuff, the look, the flashy flamboyant stuff.
Yeah,
I kind of saw some stuff.
So you was watching
like
my stream that night, you son of a bitch, because I did.
I watched it over
like that. I said something like that too. I was.
I've always said that he reminded me of The Rock.
He was a precursor of what The Raw brought to us in '98, '99, and 2000 and shit. He was a precursor of that. It's just The Raw elevated to a point where it was starting to get more popular.
His own
and
thing.
He was at the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean,
Razor Ramon came out there with them slick, shirts on, real smooth. And
also, he was the one that taught me the word ring rats. So yeah, if it wasn't for him and them, you know what I'm saying, and them stories, shit. A lot of people wouldn't be talking this loosely like that about their stories outside the ring, what they're doing opposite days when they were home before they came into work, all type of crazy shit. Scott was the one that gave us real backstage glimpse of what he saw and what he was experiencing and was very truthful about it. He was like, yo, listen,
he was
I
very
don't remember
open.
this, but I do remember this. At least
he was very open. Oh my goodness.
He was very open.
I love how you approach that. He literally is the reality of wrestling before reality of wrestling was aired on TV. And Scott literally would tell you from the beginning, bro, like he used to see it as like trophies. Like sometimes I think now when he was older, he probably kind of laugh about it and be like, man, that was just so stupid back in the day. But that's a memory between him, Kevin Nash, Shawn Michaels, and even Triple H. Even though Triple H was the goody good of that whole group, I mean, still, like those are still memories to them. And I mean, major prayers go out to Kevin Nash and them, man. From his post, that really, you could just tell like how hard that had to been for him. Mm-hmm. Triple H, X-Pac, all them, man. Like that's
the whole NWO camp.
Yeah, the whole NWO. Like I'm saying, like everybody, but yeah,
family, the ECW family, where he was there for a short stint. Like the whole wrestling world was mourning, and still.
If it weren't for him, I don't think WCW would have went as big as it was.
No.
If we really want to be real, the NWO thing, it would not have grew as much as it
him
done.
and Kevin Nash would never went the fuck over to the WCW in '96, that shit would have never happened the way never happened the way the fuck that it was.
WCW would have been like Impact with Dixie Carter.
WCW would have died a lot earlier. No, WCW would have died a lot earlier if those two never would have showed up. Because you never would have got Hogan turning heel for the very first time in his whole entire fucking career. He would stay static just the way that he was, or he probably would have quit.
I think he would have got really stale with it.
Life would have been totally different. Life would have been totally different if Scott Hall wasn't the first one to say, you know what? Yo, Kev, I got this contract from Ted Turner. Here's how much that they pay me for this much, for this days. And Kev's like, shit, I'm coming with you. Fuck that.
Yeah.
He was the influencer
in
that group. He was the one that was like, yo, know your worth, know your value. If a job is not going to pay you that, you need to go somewhere the fuck else that's going to pay you that money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he taught me. And it still applies to me to this very day with any job that I go to. I might know, if you can't accommodate me here, I can't sign on the dotted line right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Scott, if it wasn't for Scott Hall, man, a lot like you said, a lot of stuff wouldn't happen. At the time, I think when Scott Hall, Razor Ramon was on top, Hulk Hogan wasn't even around at that time. He wasn't even in WWF, and
he was vanishing.
Diesel was just coming up, so Scott Hall had that influence, and Kevin Nash, they was best buzz. So once he said that, I'm leaving, Kevin Nash went right along with him. But if that wouldn't happen, WCW wouldn't even have gotten as big. Like not even alone with Goldberg, they would have got big. So
no, not even close. It would have got some pop a little bit. It'd been kind of like a temporary Hogan pop, but other than that, it would not have got as what it was. And I mean, regardless of what we want to say about it, like Scott Hall was the Attitude Era in ways. Like honestly, him going to WCW is what made the Attitude Era what it was. It challenged them, and Attitude Era was getting their ass whooped for consecutive days. Like how Dre said, I was a WWE guy, so that's embarking my show. Like Dre's looking at it like, man, why are you messing with our guys? Like the only really guy I would tune into on WCW was really Sting and Goldberg, and man, who's gonna beat up the NWO? Like it was just like, man, like can they be stopped? And there's a reason why they were the main thing for WCW for a long time, and it made Goldberg what he was, because that finish, like how Shiz was talking about, that in my opinion made Goldberg look even stronger, losing that way to show, hey, that superhero can finally erupt.
You don't want to know my rebuttal to this bullshit. You know that was a Vince Russo writing right there and then on the fucking spot.
I tried to put it over. I tried to put it over.
So ladies and gentlemen, right?
Trey's sitting there laughing, and I looked at Shiz's eyes like,
what? Okay, wait. All right. So for right now, right? So I'm gonna ask y'all one quick question, and this goes to the audience too. So WrestleMania is coming up soon, right? The biggest event of all. Night 2's main event is going to be the title for title unification match, Roman and Brock. Are we going to see Paul Heyman pulling out a taser, a flashback moment, and tase Brock Lesnar and be like, "Yo, I'm out of this bitch"? Are we really going to see that shit because you want to bring this shit up?
I hope not. I really hope not.
It's gonna be the finger poke
because that was the worst thing. That was the worst thing that happened.
That was the worst thing that WCW could have done next to the finger poke of doom.
Hey, man.
Next to it,
Scott Hall did it. That was memorable. There you go. I just love how Dre literally was like, Shiz is like, oh yeah, here we go. No, we ain't doing this. No. But guys, that is the segment for the Scott Hall memory. Guys, put some comments in there. Let us know some of your favorite matches and some of the moments. Like, definitely, this is still hard for most of us.
Definitely when he put the diaper on 1, 2, 3 Kid in that diaper match.
I totally forgot about that.
I said, oh good God! And then they recreated the thing in 2K20.
They did.
The story about this shit. So I was like, wait a minute, man, like, you can't disregard that. They took a storyline that they did from years ago and they put it in the fucking video game.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
So rest in peace to Scott Hall, man. For real,
The diaper spot. I forgot about that.
Oh, wait a minute. And one more thing too. I have to do one of these. Good times don't last, but bad guys do. Oops, I missed.
I love
him up. There you go.
He sounded like he's been practicing it.
Yeah.
Gotta get it right today.
Listen, we're going to carve him up.
Hey, what's that meme that where that guy goes like this and he's just
leave it alone, damn it.
All right, guys.
I had a toothpick in my mouth for like 2 days. I lost the other one when I was at work earlier, so yeah, I know.
It happened.
Yeah, I was trying to live the gimmick. Like, no, don't touch my hoodie, please. Yeah.
All right, guys. Today also we did have the passing of Scott Hall Monday. I also found out tragic news. This episode is really going to be dedicated to my good friend MJ Book because we were actually going to do this topic on his show, the Countdown Podcast. It's going to be the top 10 of the greatest of professional wrestling. This is definitely going to hold something real serious to me because, man, like, it's still crazy. Like, I just talked to him like not even 3 days ago, and to find out that he passed and the way that we had to find out was just super sad. Shout out to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast. Definitely a good podcast to listen to when we talk about pro wrestling and stuff like that. It was the podcast home of MJ Book. I will actually be on their upcoming show to do in memory of MJ Book. His actual name is obviously Michael. He always rather the MJ talk. Diehard wrestling fan. He was actually one of the guys that actually was at the very first All In pay-per-view for AEW, and he the main thing that captivated him from that pay-per-view was Kenny Omega, and he said literally it was like him being a kid watching Roddy Piper again. Like he was a diehard Roddy Piper fan. Hated Hulk Hogan, loved Roddy Piper as a young kid, and I don't know that many people that literally were heel fans as a kid like he was, especially knowing what the genre was back in the day. He knew how Roddy Piper was back in the day. To be that Roddy Piper fan, I'm pretty sure was pretty tough in ways. Like literally some of those things just like, nah, man, it's Hogan. Now, it's Roddy Piper. But this is going to be called the MJ Book Countdown. We are going to list the top 10 the greatest of pro wrestling. We're all going to take turns. We're going to start from 10 to 1. We're all going to take turns just basically saying our one number. So say like at 10, who y'all believe is y'all's number 10, and we'll just keep going down to 1. Shiz, start it off, my friend.
You want to start off with me?
Yeah, bro.
Fuck turds. Okay. All right. So I guess my top 10, the number 10 of my greatest professional wrestlers list. I'm gonna just go with Kurt Angle. I'm gonna go with Kurt Angle at number 10. Yes, right, for me, because because I wasn't a fan of his until when he had the heel run in WWF in the 2000s, where he kind of won me over then. But it was really when he came back later on as the wrestling fucking machine. And he had a great match with The Undertaker at No Way Out 2006 for the main event for the World Heavyweight title. That's beyond one of my favorite matches from the both of these guys. And what made me look at that match and study it very vividly and said, bro, they could have turned that little thing around. He could have reversed this. He could have reversed that. They was putting on a wrestling clinic at a time where wrestling was starting to fade apart from the world. It wasn't becoming popular anymore. But at least the in-ring matches is what made you stick to them. So I gotta get Kurt on my number 10 spot.
Hey, I like that. Dre, who you got for number 10, my boy?
Man, oh man. Woo.
See,
Number
man, this
10.
is controversial, man. You got some people
It
coming
really,
in trying to
it
curse
really
me out.
is. It really is, man. People gonna get at
People
us.
are gonna be shunning me for the rest of the 9 choices.
Oh man.
For real,
Oh,
man.
man.
This is why I was like, you start with me first? I'm like, okay.
I gotta get the controversial one out
The
first,
Black Cat one was gonna start, pulling some strings out of his ass.
Okay, I gotta say, I'm gonna go with now. Some people might not like my pick. Number 10, Kane. And I understand Kane.
Right.
I understand
See,
Kane.
that's not bad.
That's not bad. I don't think so. But Kane had a real big debut. I believe it was Bad Blood, right, in '97. Where he debuted.
Hell in a Cell, yeah.
The Hell in a Cell, yes.
Yeah,
and it took off the cage and destroyed the Undertaker, and obviously, his career was attached to the Undertaker being brothers of destruction and winning World Heavyweight Championship and WWE Championship. So I'm gonna say Kane as 10.
Okay.
That's number 10.
All right, guys. All right. My number 10 is gonna be one of the best in-ring performers of all time. I am so sad that this man left us at such an early run. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Guys, number 10 is mine. Mr. Eddie Guerrero, bro. Like, literally. A gimmick that can never be imitated. One guy that you could absolutely love as a babyface and hate as a heel. One segment that literally captivated his heel run is got to be the one with Rey Mysterio. The one with the segment between Dominic and Rey and Eddie. My gosh, that story, you actually believed it. That's the craziest part. Like, you're sitting there going back like, could Dominic really be Eddie's? Like, what in the world is going on? Like, you could really just like, what in the world can we expect out of this? And that contract match, when the ladder match.
Those are official custody papers.
I mean, how else could you make a match like that over? Like, that match was over.
Head, bro. And just the way that he looked at Rey when he said that sentence.
That story, bro, it was just captivating.
Eddie, what are you doing, man? And I was thinking when this happened.
And then you popped when Vicky held her. You popped when Vicky was holding Eddie on the ladder.
And no one knew who the hell Vicky Guerrero even was.
Like,
until, you know what I'm saying? And
oh my gosh. And then obviously, guys, my favorite thing about Eddie is when he would hit the ring with the steel chair and just pop it off to the opponent and just fall down pointing at him. And the referee's just sitting there like,
the whole line cheat steel thing.
You're out. That's it. That's the match. Like, bro, that is, man.
Also, if you're not going to be forgetting the match that he had
Brock
between
Lesnar.
No. I was talking about something from his younger years. Him versus Rey Mysterio in '97 was when, I guess,
that's in the new WWE game.
Was when I started watching Eddie Guerrero because of that match. And I had a friend that lived right down the street from me who was a huge WCW fan. I was a WWF fan. So we would trade each other's tapes. So as I'm watching that particular pay-per-view and that event, and that match came up, and I said, who the hell's Rey Mysterio? Who's Eddie Guerrero? Like, these are people I never knew the fuck about until when that day, that night when I watched that tape, I became a fan of both of these guys. I was like, if only they were doing this shit in WWF, I think maybe they have a stronghold right now, but they ain't doing that. But that's what made me kind of have the tunnel vision going back and forth watching WCW and WWE.
Yeah, and plus Ray's that look that he had when he wrestled Eddie at Halloween Havoc. Like, I think it was the Phantom. Wasn't it the Phantom?
Yeah, it was the Phantom.
I was a big fan of the Phantom movie, so like that even captivated me more. I was like, oh, the Phantom's on TV. I'm like, hold up, he ain't that short. Like, that was the first thing I thought about. I was like, that man ain't that short. And then at first, like when I first tuned into WCW and watched that match, I'm like, could he be a Power Ranger? Like, literally, that was my thing. That, like, I was a big Power Ranger fan. So, like, looking at, like, superheroes and stuff like that, that's what caught me with Ray. And I was just like, nah, he can't be that guy. He might be Spider-Man, but as short as he was, that I just could not believe that he was, like, full Power Ranger or something like that. But, yeah, man, those matches that he did with Rey Mysterio is still going to be probably top tier in the top 10 of all time. Even the matches, even though we don't talk about it much, as with Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, just the technicians of pro wrestling, all of them listed head to toe. And I got to talk about the Kurt Angle and Eddie match at WrestleMania 21.
Jump right into number 9. My number 9 was gonna be Chris Benoit. Most people
All
don't
right,
like
number 9. Go for it.
Want people don't want to say that word, but listen, I was a fan, like a vivid fucking fan of Chris Benoit before the nonsense came in. That's what sustained his reputation and everything like that. But before the stuff that he was doing in WCW, then we came to WWE, and he had those great matches with Kurt Angle. He had great matches with The Rock. He had great matches with Austin. He had great matches with so many people, especially Chris Jericho, a handful of times. And you cannot disregard that. Now, I'm not going to try to dig in too much of the whole things that happened that day, but we all know when you mix alcohol, drugs, steroids, shit like that, and you taking this shit for years, and if that company has not been doing no monetary drug testing and shit like that, to actually say, yo, we got to update this policy. That's how a lot of the shit happened back then with so many other wrestlers, as we see in the Dark Side of the Ring trilogies that they talked about, the story behind. But we're not going to dig too deep into this thing. But I'm disregarding that, because you see how many other wrestlers have died that way. And then, none of you guys are criticizing them. Vince McMahon is still criticizing Marshall Man Randy fucking Savage till this day. He's still using his likeliness. He's still using him in video games. He's using him every fucking way and put him in the fucking Hall of Fame way after he's dead, by the fucking way. Like, that man can hear you from 6 feet below and say, okay, Vince, we good. Oh, and by the way, I did fuck Stephanie. Now she might not want to know, because it might actually break up Triple H.
And then there's your metaphor. It finally happens.
Use this as a scapegoat. Get out of that house. Anyway,
get out of that.
Get out of that house. Use that.
He's starting this shit again.
Technically, you started this the other day, and I'm just piggyback off it now. But
more stuff new training worldwide.
Yeah, but just they'd rather do something like that then. But because of where they were going at that time period, they couldn't have that all over news stations and television screens, and then that was going to damage the company. So I understand what Vince McMahon did, but you can't knock out his memory, bro. You can't. No. You just can't. Especially if you're still using his footage on your Peacock networks and you're still using it on your WWE networks. Pieces of shits.
I do know Peacock did try to bleep out of a lot of it, but it is a lot of trademark guys.
Listen, man, he taught me discipline. He taught me to stay focused, but more importantly, for a big guy like me, I'm a submission specialist. So I don't like the whole trying just to be the brawler and shit like that. Nah, I like to actually get you in the Boston Crab or even the
Texas look he had though. You would have thought he was a brawler with the toothless look and everything. Like you would have thought he was a brawler.
That's what made him more intriguing to me. The fact that he was just some guy
and that physique.
That don't give a shit about the TV shit like that. Yo, let's just keep going.
That physique too, man. My goodness.
That toughness.
I was a big Benoit fan. I'm not even gonna lie.
Made me look at I gotta be tough just like him. And that's why I put Chris Benoit at number 9. For me, my personal reasons, not because of what the fuck many motherfuckers want to fucking say. For me, as a wrestling fan's point of view, that's it.
Okay, my number 9. My number 9, I'm gonna say is Bret Hart. Bret Hart is number 9. I think Bret Hart. Yeah, Bret Hart, man. He was.
Put him
he was way before my time, obviously though. But in his time, it wasn't no one really like him though. Obviously, he had the big rivalry with Shawn Michaels and stuff like that. But I thought Bret Hart was a fabulous wrestler, and couldn't nobody really, hang with him besides really Shawn Michaels and a couple other guys though. But I'm gonna say Bret Hart for number 9.
Okay, I like that one.
Well, you're gonna put him at. If you could put it at number 9, I was going to put him at number 6. No bullshit. That was going to be my 6th person.
Shiz is about to get a kick out of this one.
Nah, I'm not.
My number 9 is gotta be
because he didn't grow in his era, but we did. I grew up watching Brett every fucking week on Raw. I got used to him, and then when it came to everything the fuck else, which we'll talk about in a little later, to my turn.
Shout out Dallas Coquito. What's up, man?
Hey,
Coquito, tell Eli we're still waiting on him.
Hey, he said number 10, Justin Liger. And number 9 would be Chris Benoit as well. So Coquito actually agrees with
you. Let's go, Alex.
Who's your number 9?
My number 9, Shiz is about to have a kick out of this one. He already basically called him out.
I did.
My number 9's got to be the man that's on all Slim Jims as well. It's got to be Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay, I can see that.
Flamboyant, entertaining, the look,
you know
matches.
Just because of him.
The matches alone, man. The matches alone.
Listen, any wrestler that had a commercial back then that they was making some guap out of, I was watching y'all.
Plus, he was on Spider-Man, guys. You can't go wrong with this, man. Macho Man. Literally, like Macho Man, if you could talk about top 10 greatest matches, I guarantee you Macho is in at least 3 or 4. Period. Good Lord. WrestleMania moments, WCW moments. I mean, the list goes on and on. Macho Man was that guy, in my opinion. The look, the gimmick, everything was just monumental. Coquito is apparently putting his list.
Yeah, say the same thing to Elias right now, and even though you know what Vince McMahon feels about that, it's like, no, he looks too close to Randy. Get him, no, we gotta ship him over to something else.
What if he goes back and
why you look like Randy Savage?
What if they actually change his gimmick to actually be kind of like Macho Man? I swear that would be.
I will boycott WWE so fast, so fast in a hurry, so fucking fast.
Macho 2.0 and put him on NXT 2.0.
No, seriously, Jay Lethal would be throwing the fuck up. Jay Lethal would be throwing the absolute fuck up. He would have been
agree.
What?
I agree. All right, Shiz. Number 8, bro.
Chris Jericho. We had to be number 8.
All right. You stole my.
I like that.
I was just about to say Chris Jericho.
Why would I need to steal from you, Dre? Like, I don't understand that. Especially when you're the one who put Bret Hart at number 9. You stole my shit. I even get anything like that.
I was about to say Chris Jericho as my number 8.
Oh, man.
Okay, there go my number 8 right there, Chris Jericho.
Listen, it's just the fact that
all you gotta do is you say your list and then you just say what the reason why you believe that he is that guy.
Okay, fine. So we want to go all the way from 10 to 1s then? Fine. What I said for number 10? I said number 10 was
Absolutely not, Alex Coquito. I'm not a fan of him. Sorry.
Okay. Who I said for number 10? I said number 10 was
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle. Number 9 was Chris Benoit. Number 8 to me is Chris Jericho. Number 7, Sting. Number 6, Bret Hart.
We're not saying all the numbers yet. We're just going one by one.
But listen, you already jumped the gun with that other one.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
So, yeah. All right. So, number 6, Bret Hart. Number 5, The Rock.
Huh?
Yeah.
Number 5?
Yeah, number 5 will be The Rock. Number 4. And number 4.
I don't even care no more.
And I'm sorry, I got to be the one to actually say this, but Hulk Hogan. Where I be number 4. Listen. If it wasn't for Hulk, wrestling would not be what the fuck it is right now without him.
I would have put him a little bit higher, but yeah, okay. He's in your 4. I like that.
Higher than him. Shawn Michaels is number 3. Undertaker at number 2. And Stone Cold at number 1.
Okay.
That's it. And I'm done.
All right. So Coquito said at number 8, he put Vader.
See, that's a good pick.
All right. And number 7, he said Owen Hart. I agree with that one.
I would agree with that too. Those will definitely be my wild card choices too.
Yeah.
These would be like my honorable mentions, and honestly, like
especially Owen Hart would never been like my back pocket.
number 12. I think he would have been my number 12.
He would have been my number like 11.
Okay, I'm just gonna get my eyes out the way.
Yeah,
number
Shiz has already ruined the routine. So screw it. Just screw it.
I showed a Bret Hart picture early, and I was like, "Bro, seriously?"
Okay, number 10. Okay, number 10. I said Kane. Number 9. I said Bret Hart. Number 8.
You said Jericho. I think.
Jericho. Okay, Jericho.
Copy off my test sheet.
Number 7. Number 7, I would say Hulk Hogan. I would say Hulk Hogan.
Ooh, number 7.
Yes, number 7.
Dang, he ain't even in the Mount Rushmore for Dre.
See, number 6. At least I put him at 4.
Number 6, I would say China.
Huh?
China. I would say China for number 6.
He said, huh? Like you never heard that one before.
You gotta say memory. You gotta say what memory really would captivate you to put her in that category.
I mean, like she was like one of the first women's, who transcended, wrestling at that point, especially in the Attitude Era. Obviously, before then, it wasn't even, women wrestlers.
She was supposed to be big women in that ring.
Yeah, she was in the Royal Rumble. She won the Intercontinental Championship. She was supposed to win the WWF Championship, but she never did. Like it was just so many, great memories.
Now you don't forget. Well, Vince McMahon would have never done.
Hold up.
Yeah, of course.
What proof was there about that?
She wanted that to happen, but Vince McMahon.
She wanted that to happen. He wasn't going to let that happen.
That's what I read.
And honestly, I'm definitely on Vince's. On Vince's side for that one, because you kind of make your champion look weak. You make that title look weak. Like honestly, then all of a sudden now you're gonna have, no offense if anybody wants to take this offense or whatever, but then you're gonna have all the female wrestlers basically say, hey, they can go and defeat guys like Stone Cold, The Rock, all them. Like that would kill credibility and characters.
Excuse me, Tessa Blanchard.
Okay, and you see how well that ran and
very you see what the fuck happened and how long that they done this shit for?
But how many times is all right? We're not. All right, go.
All right, Dre,
keep going.
I don't even remember.
If the company takes a chance, then you're making history. So you're not.
You said number 7 was Hulk Hogan. So
yeah, okay. Number 6, I said China. Number 5. Number 5. Man.
Cinco.
Number 5, I gotta say The Undertaker. Number 5, The Undertaker.
Number 5. All right.
Number 5, The Undertaker. Number 4, Shawn Michaels.
What?
Shawn Michaels. Number 4.
What?
Number
1.
Of course. Number 3. Number 3.
Yo, wait a minute.
Let him finish.
Wait a minute.
Number 3. I'm just gonna say it. Number 3 is John Cena. John Cena, number 3. Number 2, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and number 1 is The Rock.
All right.
Hey, that's my
picture of Cena. He had no picture of Chris Jericho, no nothing. He had all the popular superstars.
I mean, Jericho. I mean, look, it's controversial. Jericho too, but look what Jericho.
If you think of Mount Rushmore,
yeah, I know, but look what Jericho. Not that he do Jericho like that, but Jericho is the man. Look what he had done to stay relevant in every company he has ever done.
I would say longevity wise.
Yeah, so
exactly. And can you say how many people off that top 10 list has he done the same thing that?
No one.
Exactly.
No one. No one.
I mean, Rock changed the game for acting.
Yeah,
he's made it another platform for wrestlers.
But Shiz make a good point too, far as Hulk Hogan though. Like no one would really watch wrestling if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan though. Even though that what he said and everything, but Hulk Hogan really got a lot of people into wrestling though. Stone Cold captured all the other people who really was like, you know what, man, I really like this shit. Fuck your boss. I'm with it. F you. I can throw up middle fingers. And
how many people you think got fired that day after they discovered
it? Too many people.
A lot of people
like me that went to detention.
A lot of people, all the women who showed their breasts on Monday Night War, they probably got fired that next night. They was like, yeah, you gone. But The Rock was just, so smooth, man.
College students.
Oh yeah, you right.
College bitches and shit like that showing off their tits. So it's like they can't say nothing to them.
Yeah,
that was a whole different game, man.
Yeah, the whole thing they could have done was the very next day they could have showed the videotape recorded of them. And
that's the only thing I think they really got in trouble for was that gun thing with Brian Pillman.
Oh yeah.
All right, so guys, Alex Coquito said number 6 he believes is Arn Anderson. Number 5, Cactus Jack, not Mick Foley.
Can we just say? I must say that. Can we just say Mick Foley just for all 4?
All 4 gimmicks, man.
All 4 gimmicks, including his real self. It's a gimmick, but 4 gimmicks. Gotta give Mick Foley his credit.
He's a hell of a comedian.
He would have been my wild card too. I was just gonna put it at number 7 because for Mankind and Cactus Jack.
He was my honorable mention. Here's my honorable mention. He put number 4 Kurt Angle, the bestiality sex. Oh,
yeah, he put him up there. The bestiality sex.
All 3 of you have all agreeing points. It's scary but cool.
I mean, for real, because it's true. For real. All
right, so
shit. Okay, fine.
What number was I at? 7?
No, I'll give you a quick. No, I think you was at number 7. So you have 3 more.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Number 7 is definitely going to be this man right here.
Bless his soul.
One of the truest heels in wrestling.
Bless his soul. And one of the best professional wrestlers that never hold a world title.
Yes.
That's something that now we have to.
He is the Charles Barkley of the WWE.
Yes.
Honestly, I would say the Charles Barkley of the WWE.
Charles,
my number.
You can't call him the Patrick Union. No, actually, fine. If you're gonna call him Charles
Patrick
Barkley,
Union won, didn't he? Won one.
Patrick Union will have to be Kevin Nash then. Even though Kevin Nash had won the World Heavyweight title before, Patrick Union hasn't.
Oh, so you're right. I thought he did win one. Okay,
no,
you're right.
He didn't. No.
Okay.
So we're just call Kevin the Owen. So we'll call Kevin Nash the Hakeem Elijah.
Hakeem Elijah one.
Because at least he won a couple of world titles.
Okay, my number 6 is going to be none other the Viper, Randy freaking Orton.
Okay.
That is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Okay.
I've captivated with him. He's really what made John Cena for the longest time. Really keep a heel for John Cena to actually get that major babyface run, in my opinion. And Randy is just like how we're saying about Chris Jericho. He's getting better every time.
Getting better, but say they one company. That's why we gotta say. He's Jericho with multiple companies.
Hey, he's that WWE guy. He's like Undertaker. He's gonna be that WWE guy.
But listen though. All right, fine. You may say, yeah, he's been there forever in one company that's treating him well, and because of who his last name is. Okay, I'll give you credit for that. Jericho has no last name. His father was a former hockey player. No background, no wrestling experience, no nothing. He came in as the one generation of his family to captivate himself, went to different companies, got the fuck over, and kept doing it for years to come.
Number 3, Undertaker, and number 2, Eddie Guerrero for Coquito.
And I'm pretty
I like those picks, Alex, buddy. I like those picks.
I'm pretty sure for Alex, Eddie being number 2 for him, having a close one to him. Like he grew up watching him as like a kid. He became like his favorite friend the whole 9 yards. So that's the only reason why he put it at number 2, right? Let me know, Alex.
Luke Harper, number 1 underrated workhorse.
Ooh.
I don't know if he'd be number 1 though.
Number 1.
He'd be an honorable mention to me. I
mean,
don't see him
he
as
wouldn't
number
be in
1.
my top 10, but he'll definitely be in the honorable mentions list.
You think he was?
I want you to explain a little bit more on that one, Alex. Because
do you think he was saying he's number 1, or do you think he's saying Luke Harper is one underrated workhorse?
He's one.
But he's listing them down. I think
he's one underrated workhorse.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
I believe that's.
He's a damn good workhorse. Like I am not gonna discredit that one bit. Like he was a great freaking worker. I mean, he's a big man, and honestly, he had a big future, in my opinion. Like he was really gonna help AEW for a long time. All right, guys. So what was I at? Number 5?
I think so.
Number 5 will be nobody picked him, but you know what? He is a WWE guy, but this motherfucker literally made so many guys. Gotta be Triple H,
I could
man.
not
Triple
stand
H.
him when I was a little kid.
That's what I'm saying. Like this guy
Oh
has
man,
had feuds with
but I love what he does for the
Renee.
company, though. I
every
love what he
guy that
does.
we are talking about. Every guy we're talking about, Triple H has been
Yes.
one of those main factors of
Mhm.
somebody investing to watch the show. You
Yeah.
watch the show to someone to kick Triple H's ass. You watch the show to see who's going to stop the McMahon Hemsley era. Like that is one of the monumental storylines in WWE still to this day is the McMahon and Hemsley era. If we really
Yeah.
want to go with it.
Mhm.
Alex Coquito, yes, my first ever match of wrestling was
I get
Guerrero
it.
versus DDP, 1996. Ooh, that's
I
a good
couldn't
one.
stand him. I couldn't stand Hunter Hearst Helmsley. The only time I
Yeah.
actually liked him was when he took over the reins of DX after Shawn Michaels was sent home for the back injury and he was gone for those years. That was when I liked him. Was when
Yeah.
he didn't need to have another person next to him that had
It was
more
like
game
Kobe
than
and
him.
Shaq.
He was gonna go on and get it on his own at that time period, and he was a babyface doing it. So that was the only time I liked him. That was it.
I like your
The
number
whole
one.
cerebral assassin thing, I hated the shit. Oh,
I hated it, bro.
God, I hated
But
it.
you literally gotta respect this man. Like this
I
dude
do.
made what you wanted to invest in watching the show. Like honestly, we don't have that true heel anymore that makes
It's
you
all
want to
about the
watch it,
game.
bro. Like
Triple H.
we think about it. People can talk about Triple H all they want, but the man literally was one of the classic feuds with Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. Like back then, we sat there and said, "Oh, he's only riding Shawn Michaels' coat hanger, like a coattail." Literally, no. Now, when Shawn Michaels left, Triple H even stood out even more, somewhat into the wrestling business for a while. Like Triple H proved, like, hey, I don't need anyone to stand out. I can do this on my damn self regardless if we want to say, oh, you married the boss's daughter or whatever, but the storylines were just so damn captivating. Like you were invested to watch it, to see where it was gonna go. It was kind of like The Walking Dead. You had to watch every episode. You couldn't miss one, or you would got lost into the story. You wouldn't be able to go, oh man, I lost last week's. Maybe I need to watch back last week's to figure out what's going on this week. Like those were those type of stories. And you don't see that nowadays in wrestling at all. Guys, for my number 4 pick, I've got a special guest. He is a diehard fan of this character. I'm bringing my boy Matthew Marlowe.
Justina.
Hold on. All right. Can I hear you?
Yeah, we can hear him.
All right. Hold on. All right, my bad. I'm messing up something.
What's good, soldier?
Works with the headphones. All right. We're going to do the foot. One second. All right. Get through. All right. Matthew, who is your number 4? Tell them, say, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up,
Hey,
homie?
what's going on?
What's your number 4?
All right. Hold on. All right, Matthew. Here's your spot. Tell them who your number 4 guy is.
Okay.
Who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
AJ Styles.
Okay, but who's the guy you pick?
John Cena.
Why do you like John Cena?
Hey.
I love it.
What was one of your most favorite moments about John Cena? Did you like him when he faced The Rock? Who's one of your favorite opponents that you saw him wrestle?
Face the Rock.
The Rock?
Uh-huh.
What about Orton? Orton and Triple H? Okay. All right. You're good. All right, guys.
Cute.
He wanted to pop on the show. He's been excited to do the show for a while, so I thought, why not get him on there? And that is literally the funniest thing, guys. That was actually his first words. Was literally John Cena. Like that was one reason why. That is one reason why I literally wanted him to actually. I know that was a little a little jumbled up a little bit, but yeah, that was one guy I think definitely deserves to be in what we call the Mount Rushmore. If we want to talk about trailblazing of wrestling, and not necessarily just talking about wrestling. If you say like if someone goes out to Hollywood, actors, whatever, what certain superstars would you list and go, oh, if someone say, hey, did you watch WWE? You would look at John Cena, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and probably The Rock. Those would be the four that I would say flat off the rip. And we got Taker and all them, obviously, but those would be the guys that literally you would look at and go, okay. But I put number 5 for my son because, that's his boy. I thought it'd be nice to have him on here. But guys, my number 4 is the guy I was absolutely freaking scared of when I was a kid. I was terrified of this guy. This man literally freaked me the hell out. We talk about Freddie, Jason, Mike Myers, all them cats. No, that man right there is what scared me when I was a kid. Flat out, no ifs, ands, or buts. You couldn't scare me with Chucky, Scream, any of those guys. But that dude right there, he could have me pissing in my pants. Like, literally, it was just like...
Just on a side note, my mother took me to my very first wrestling show.
I remember you telling me that on your podcast.
And,
it was the body bag, right?
It was the Undertaker versus, I think, Hulk Hogan for the title. It was a house show. It was the main event. And even though the Undertaker had lost, he still put the baby face in the body bag and carried him to the back. I just find that super awesome for him to ever do that. And I was hooked on him ever since. And then I was an infant when this happened, Dre. So I was just like, to that point, like, oh yeah.
He's bigger now, which is actually a good thing for him because now he can transition from something better. I say yes and no, Alex, because honestly, when we talk about wrestlers that revolutionized wrestling, John Cena literally is one of those guys that caters to the main fan stream of wrestling now when it comes to WWE. Is kids. Like, Cena is literally the newer Hulk Hogan. And when I was younger, Superman.
He is the newest Superman, just like if you want to put Ringo as the Batman character, then you can find it.
Yes. I love how you said that. Because I flat out tried to figure that out for the longest time. I was like, who would I put Randy Orton when it comes to like a superhero character? And it has to be Batman. Like, Batman was so very like viperish. Like, literally, we think about it, like, literally just boom, pounce on the instant. Like, literally would find your weakness and just hop on it really off the rip. I think that's the best way to put it.
See, there's the reason why I like the Orton so much.
But guys, number 4 obviously is going to be the Undertaker. Shout out to him making the Hall of Fame.
And his birthday the day before mine too. Woo woo. And that's next week. Next week.
There you go.
So we're going to be lit. It's Aries season coming up next week.
All right, guys. So my Mount Rushmore, y'all been ranking them pretty high, especially Dre. Number 3 has got to be the one and only, the immortal Hulk Hogan. Eat your vitamins, say your prayers,
not believing
all that, man.
Nope.
For a man to come out wearing red and yellow and with pride, wearing the bandana, the sunglasses and all that, man, it literally just trailblazed what WWE has been for so long. And if we think about it, man, Hulk Hogan was the very first superhero before any other ones were out there.
Absolutely.
And that's why Hulk Hogan so revolutionized wrestling. I've got guys from my job that talk about all the time. He's the first person to have the
golden shovel in his hands. The very first person that comes to ever have the golden shovel to be like, I don't want to lose to him. I want to face him, but I want to lose this way so it still protects me. He had power. He had momentum that he could dictate.
He was Vince's guy.
Or he wanted to win, whatever. He had that much power.
He was Vince's guy. That was for a fact. He was Vince's guy. Vince's guy, flat out. All right, guys. Number 2, since it is 316 Day, I've got to put this man on there people would be upset. It's none other than Mr. Texas Rattlesnake himself, Stone Cold Steve Austin. What is there not to say about this guy? What is there not to say about Stone Cold? Stone Cold literally is the heart and soul of the Attitude Era. Stone Cold literally saved WWE through the Monday Night Wars. Proved that, hey, I can make a gimmick that really is not going to go well and trailblaze it to something iconic. Like, how many people could go and reverse a thing reversed off of a Bible scripture and not get in trouble for it? From John 3:16 to Austin 3:16, and using it as a revolutionized things. People wearing T-shirts on it. People wearing what symbols? Like, good Lord,
making knockoff shirts like Owen did.
Yeah, like, oh my goodness.
Neck, or even worse, McMahon 316.
Exactly, man. Like, literally,
who the fuck?
Beer trucks, flipping birds, all that stuff, man. Mm-hmm. Who else could really do this stuff? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And just to be there at Boston Garden when he won the title for the very first time as a
kid.
Damn it,
you've seen him in person too?
I was all the way in the balcony seats though, and that was my birthday gift. So
I'm the only one that's not seen.
I was actually fortunate enough to see him actually win. I really don't remember the whole night like that, but I only remember was the main event. That was it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How was that feeling? How was that feeling with the entrance song? That is still revolutionary.
The arena was fucking shaking. The fucking arena was shaking from the moment that he walked in to the moment when he won. And it was just beyond incredible. And then when Mike Tyson had the knockout, you hear people right next to me spilling over beers, hyped up, drunk as fuck. Like, it was just crazy. That's the only thing that I remember.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, I'm excited about Stone Cold coming back in Dallas because that pop is going to be sensational. It's going to be unforgettable. That is literally, in my opinion, if WrestleMania doesn't do that well, guess what? Stone Cold showed up. Guess what? You know he's going to get his thing in, and he's going to look like the man that you saw as a kid. It might be a little bit older, but guess what? Stone Cold's still going to stomp him up.
Now my man 316 don't drink anymore. He smokes weed. So I'm happy for that.
There you go.
Now I can finally say, I can finally now. Yo, man, you can't bring that street shit over there to him, man. You gotta get the tough stuff. You gotta go to the dispensary, get the weed from that, and then go over to go smoke with Austin. You know what I'm saying? Now
it's supposed to be like National Beer Day. Shiz is over. National Weed Day. Yeah, let's go.
Nah, I won't see Austin do the 420 shenanigans. I really won't see him like that. Nah.
Oh Lord! All right, guys. If anybody knows me, Dre's named it. Shiz, I'm pretty sure, knows who it is. We all, if you know who the heck I am a die-hard, the greatest man alive, one of the main baby faces of pro wrestling. I would literally say the reason why Stone Cold was who he was for a long time, feud-wise, because these matches right here with this man, regardless of the results, I don't care about the results. The matches itself were trailblazing. If you think of the best feud of all time, I've got to say Rock and Austin. Promo, WrestleMania 17. Still by far one of the greatest build-ups I've ever seen on a wrestling match because that Limp Bizkit song literally trailblazed that whole thing. Like, bro, you just watching that promo movie, I guarantee you're just, even in the stands, just like, oh, man, what we about to get out of this tonight. Like, oh, my goodness. Regardless of the finish, when Dre talks about the ambulance thing, I was in tears for the first two nights after Austin beat Rock, and then they go and tack him in the damn steel cage the next damn night, and Rock was gone for like 6 months. I'm devastated because he's bloody, everything, and man, that's like my superhero. So literally, it was just like, man, they did that to Rock, and then Vince McMahon suspending him. Oh, man, I literally wanted to punch my TV at 11 years old. Literally, that just hurt me so bad. And that's one thing that wrestling was to me, was like, I was so passionate with it as like how people are with sports teams. Like, yes, I'm a Jaguars fan. Yes, we're used to losing a lot nowadays. But when you talk about big monumental teams, like I would say, you watching rivalry matches and stuff like that. Yes, the record shows Stone Cold beat Rock twice and Rock won one, But you know what? The matches itself were just straight magic. It wasn't a lot of spots. They did so much stuff that literally just told a story. And this is what the saying, less is more. And put Vince McMahon into it, put Triple H into it. Like the story itself was just monumental. And guys, one guy that literally takes half my paychecks every other month. When a new Project Rock thing comes out, I don't drink tequila, but I'll drink Terramana. And obviously, we like to sip your Zoe. Let's freaking go. So, that's why my number one is The Rock.
Wow. The fucking beer can. Oh shit. That's fandom shit right there. That's real fandom shit right there.
No, you know what hurts me? Both of y'all have actually seen Stone Cold and The Rock in person. Out of all my people that I've seen in wrestling, I've seen a lot of them. A lot of them. I cannot say that I saw The Rock and Stone Cold yet. I have not seen either one of them yet. Every single time, man. It drives me nuts. And like when we just went to Monday Night Raw, we took my son to go see AJ Styles. And poor AJ wasn't even there. Matthew's got his hand up, everything, because in the Edge segment, you're thinking like, oh, AJ about to come and beat on Edge. That song's about to come on, and then Matthew's looking at the screen the whole time. He's like, no I'm just AJ. Like, please go, please go, please go. And I'm just like, no. I was like, no, don't do it to me. And then when Edge walks out of the ring, I'm literally, I cannot lie, I was just like this.
No, no, she wasn't ready.
All right, guys. All right, this was going to be the ending of Commission Talks. Let's do our final talks. Guys, what are some plugs that y'all want to do? What's some upcoming stuff that y'all got coming up? Dre, you just had a podcast episode out today. Great episode. Great episode. Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
I haven't gotten to it yet, Dre, but I am going to get to it. Uh-oh. Got him.
Hey, I ain't putting no WWE references into it.
Nothing, bro. He was actually hyping you guys up the whole time, but it was just me.
He ain't lying. He's not lying. Hey, Dre's moving. All right, we got him. He's here.
All right.
There we go. All right, Dre.
There he goes.
Yeah.
What did you last hear, my friend?
Say that again.
All right, so what we were plugging in, so we were talking about your episode that you just had out today. Is there anything you want to plug in about it? You want to talk about it?
Oh, man, the episode today that just dropped, I appreciate it a lot. You can check it out, new episode on my YouTube channel where I had a young lady named Domo Jones, who is a disability confidence coach. And she talked about her story, living life with a disability. Started her own business where she designed walkers, crutchers, medical necessities for people with disabilities or whoever use crutches or whatever. And then I had a guy named Rayvon Taylor, who's a teacher out of Flint, Michigan, and a youth basketball coach, and just had fun chopping it up. That's the new episode that's out right now, and also new Talk Pro Wrestling episode coming this Friday. So yeah.
All right.
That's that, man.
All right.
That's that. And also, new merch is coming soon.
Ooh. Shiz is making us up our game up here now, Mister. That's why it is. That's why it is. When we got to up it and try to beat Shiz out. That man's got all the merch. This man got all the merch out here.
Okay.
I turn around. Shiz is like one of my friends that would be like, "Hey man, I got this new finisher." I'm like, "Bro, you just had a new finisher like 2 weeks ago." Nah, man, I got a new one today. Like this is gonna be like a mixture of a choke slam into a rock bottom. Like this, it's gonna be awesome. Like I could just tell Shiz would have been one of those guys if he was a wrestler. He would have changed his finisher like 30 times in a month. You ain't even discarded it.
Listen, maybe just to try to get it right or something like that, but come on.
Hey, I was a one and done, man. Code breaker, that was it. 1, 2, 3. If you kicked out, all right, I'm done.
There you go home from here. Grab my money and get the hell out of here. Anyway,
we can't go further.
No. Damn. See, you made me lose my train of thought. Oh, okay. We was right now. Final thoughts. Free agency is still happening in the NFL. There's some key players that went to some weird unorthodox teams, but it's making
Christian
them a lot better.
McCaffrey.
My God,
Did you see that?
He's still on the market.
They're talking to the damn Chiefs right now.
If they trade him, they're gonna have to get Travis Kelce or some shit like that. Because no, they're not gonna just give him away for free.
Pat Mahomes could take a nap after just snap.
No, especially no. Because didn't they just resign Kane Newton and one other QB too to Carolina? So they're gonna want to try to keep him. They want to try to get the highest bargain possible. So you either give us Kelce and maybe a draft pick. You get him and one other person, or maybe a draft pick for him because their contract would probably match up. I'm not too sure how the whole thing will work, but yeah, NFL's tricky. The NBA, we getting close to the playoffs, y'all. If you're in the fantasy teams, I must warn you: if you have Kyrie, do not dump him. If you have, obviously, if you have KD, do not dump him. But there are some key players.
It's every other week with them.
You need to grab and rotate. Please do. Definitely one would be RJ Barrett. Number 2, there's a few more that I want to give out, but I want to give out a totally good thing. But just be careful with your fantasy picks and just rotate your rosters, please. Anyway, and last but not least, like you said, new shirts. We just released new shirts yesterday. The infamous.
I'm gonna get one of those Scott Hall ones. I do like that.
I had to nope. Over. Unplugged. Dead and deceased. Done.
Well, damn. All right. No.
That was my decision.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
But,
I like that.
But because of that happening, is when the other 2 shirts came into play. I used the same template and just didn't have to make a whole new design. So
is that the Pod Mob one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got those out. I got Mike Hollow coming on the show in the next 5 minutes on the other channel, OTTR or Off the Top Roast Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. Tomorrow, I have Her Ignorance, and I have Tyree Taylor, Prolific, coming on the show. And then we're back with the last week of wrestling on Friday.
Yep.
So,
all right, guys.
Week. Oh,
hey,
and
busy week
soon. Yeah. When it's my turn, this whole thing, the commission talk, is going to be the commission talk game show night.
Oh,
and it's gonna be
that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we're going to
try something new, baby. Something new.
We're going to try to test out this game and see how that plays out before we launch it at season 6.
Hey, oh yeah,
that's going to be midsummer.
How's it going?
Ty West, what up, baby?
Guys,
Boston the Far Rock.
I know. I was kind of missing up on some things, but guys, like I said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to all of our content from the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, and his original podcast. Check out his merch. Also, check out my boy Shiz Linsky. I mean, he's got new merch every other month. But hey, it's great stuff. You see that Austin shirt right there, man. You can get you one of those cool things. You see that man right there with the 1130 on top of that muscular chest right there. You know, he's got that right there. You can check that out as well. Also, guys, you can check out the One Trick Pony Buzzing with Marlo V-necks. I mean, we got the tank tops. Yes, I say that again. If you in Florida, I know we've been requesting. We have tank tops, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, I have one. I'm waiting to get a blue one and obviously a white one. Like, we getting it big over here. So we have tank tops finally out. So check out, go on our bonfire. The links are below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This has been a great chat. Shout out to everyone that watched us on Twitch, YouTube Live, and Facebook Live on Facebook groups for Buzzing with Marlo. And the list goes on, man. This has been a great chat. This is episode 19, ladies and gentlemen. Commission Talks, man. We're only getting bigger.
Episode 20 is going to be on Dre's house.
That's right, guys. So next week we will be on Talk Pro Wrestling. That will be on Friday.
For us.
Is it Thursdays or Friday?
No, it's Thursdays for us.
Yeah, Thursday for us. It'll be out Friday. So
y'all
yeah,
ruined the gimmick.
See
You
guys.
just say Friday. You just say Friday. You don't say
I
the
thought it was
pre-recorded.
Saturday.
You don't say the pre-recorded. Come on, man.
I thought it was Saturday.
Look at
Maybe Sunday.
I'm the one that usually do this, not you. You're the one that spoiled it now. Way to go. Way to go.
Wait.
Way to go.
I'm
No,
lost.
no, you did it.
Listen,
You
I'm
did it.
dumbfounded. Wait, what's going on?
You know something.
Yo, my memory just kicked in like 5 minutes ago. Like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Wow. But anyway.
Well, we'll be next week, you guys.
We'll be on
You know the saying, work's the gimmick.
We'll be
Work
on
the
next
gimmick.
Friday for the
Appreciate
We'll be on
guys.
Top Pro Wrestling Friday. Disregard the Thursday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
That is a lie. I don't know where Shiz came from with that. He's got so much stuff going on for this poor guy, man. That green screen and everything is just when it hit him in the head, it probably just gave him a boo boo or something. Like you just disregard it all.
Okay.
But guys,
Okay.
this has been another great episode of Commission Talks. This was episode 19. So like we said, we will be on Dre's podcast next week for episode 20. And then we get to play game show night at my boy Shiz's the following week. So guys,
Kids say
like,
no
share,
to drugs.
subscribe. Also, our audio version, I know we all be asked all the time, when's our audio version of this podcast come out? It will be out either later on tonight or tomorrow, first thing in the morning. I promise y'all we will get them out. You can check them out on all platforms. Wherever you get your podcast, we are there. Guys, last fall, I appreciate y'all doing this, man. Shout out to Many Hats for having us on. That was an absolute blast. It was really cool to talk about something other than pro wrestling. Like, we are pro wrestling podcasts to an extent, but it was cool to talk about Bel Air. I actually checked out the show Atlanta. It was actually pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah,
It was different.
Bel Air,
And I need
with my girl.
We saw your reaction on it too.
Yeah, right after that, and we were sitting here and we was watching the whole remaining season that was available, the whole thing, binge watching it, and we just sat back. We just like, yo, cough this a fucking break, bro. And I was like,
you see what I was talking about, though. You see why I was getting so hype about it? Because I was like, man, I just don't like Carlton. And I don't know if season 2 or whatever is going to make you go, oh, man, maybe we feel bad for him. But it's like, I just did not like him. He was a true heel in the show, literally for me. But, guys, I want to do a last memory. This episode was mainly in memory of my good friend, MJ Book. He had a podcast called The Greatest Countdown. Top 20. We just did the top 10. Here's the picture of this man right here, guys. I know everybody remembers him on our podcast. It's still shocking. Prayers go out to his family and friends, and to the third generation of wrestling podcasts, because they definitely are getting hit hard with this one, because he was a major piece to that podcast and just all around, man, great person. And honestly, I'm not a fan of the 49ers, but I hope they really do well for him next year. Guys, this has been an absolute pleasure. This has been a lot of fun. I know we've been trying to close it out for a while, but this is Buzzing with Marlo. That's Dre on Wheels from the 1130 podcast, and that's my boy Shiz Lansky from Off the Top Ropes podcast, and we are out. Later.
Blackheart, you bet.